Here we are flying after correcting for the magnetic declination and the position of the puck in the software, which I hadn't entered correctly or at all. I switched on the GPS, but you can still see it doing the toilet bowl effect. Something is still not correct.
Let's measure where your module's sitting on in the software and see if it's right. If it's in the right spot. Did you
Fail.
were you centering? Are you centering it at the bottom of the aircraft as far as the height of center of gravity, or the center of the bird?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've done anything with it. I don't know.
Always had the NAZA in it?
Yeah, so I had NAZA in it.
You just took your GPS.
I just finally put the puck on it,
Yeah.
and I bet you anything that it needs to be more
It actually, looking at it, it looks exactly where mine is. And if mine holds steady, yours should hold steady.
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't. So. Oh well. We'll keep it. Hey Dan.
Yeah, it's got some weight on it.
How do you take that one? If you can take the camera.
You get out of Joel's way. Crazy man with an airplane.
Yeah, we weren't fast enough. We almost got speared by a plane.
So it's like fish bowling?
It's doing about a 10-foot fish bowl.
Okay.
I'm thinking because it's different from where I set it in Florence than it is here.
So what we figured out was we went into the software. I hadn't put anything for the position of the puck into the software. So that was one of the things we did, and we had to measure it. And it's all done in centimeters. It's not done in millimeters. So if you're measuring stuff out, go to the next centimeter. If it's like 69 millimeters or something like that, go to 70 or, something like that. So it's kind of weird. Then we test flew it, and it was doing the same thing. It was still kind of doing the toilet bowl in the air. Then one last thing that Tony saw that I hadn't done was in the cyclic movement, where you measure how much cyclic degrees that you have in the helicopter. Mine was, and I'm going to go through and adjust all of mine because they were all, I have them down to fucking nothing. They're like 3 degrees of pitch. It works, but when you're trying to do the GPS, it wants all of that movement to help correct it. And we think that because mine was down around 3, I figured 3 degrees. I didn't measure it, but I looked at it. And then when I corrected it and got it up to 6.5 degrees of pitch, what it asked for, it corrected that, and we test flew it, and it sat there, just sat there, and it was kind of windy, and I didn't get any of that on video. Me flipping off Tony because he was correct again, but we got it all figured out. I can't wait to test it out again because when I looked up the magnetic declination, it came up with 14.6 degrees off in all of Oregon, which I know is not correct because it does different stuff. The problem is the magnetic pole on the Earth is moving, and it's moving a lot. So one of these days, the magnetic poles on the Earth are going to flip, and then we're all going to be in all kinds of trouble. But so stay tuned for the next one on that one, and we'll get it figured out, and we'll see if the thing is actually correct. But I'm sure it is because Tony's always correct.